You make your own luck. Because what are you doing? Send help. Anyone. Please help. This one is just bad. It's just bad. It's just awful from start to finish. Remember early Calming Core from last year?
Don't even have Nuvera up in. They have XMS up in, and he smokes himself off. He uses both smokes at the beginning of these rounds every time, so he doesn't have them for the mid-rounding. He smokes himself off, even though he's holding mid. And they can't pivot at all. And then Scream misses his molly over the top of Cat. And Redgar gets distracted by how badly it missed.
Well, yesterday we saw a game that had a performance that was akin to early Calming Core last year, if not even worse. And it starts with one of the worst rounds you will ever see in the very first round of the game.
These comps, the focal point becomes the Yoru. It becomes the value they're able to get from that. Sacrificing the second initiator to have obviously another controller here, and it being the Omen this time around. We did see an example yesterday, the Astra, but I don't know, I'm here for it.
Yeah, look, I'm ready to see statistical anomalies. I mean, Koi haven't had the most wondrous of records, but, you know, look and see what they can achieve now. They have at least claimed a couple of victories this year themselves. Haven't looked atrocious, a couple of off games. I think we have to call it how it is. These two teams are in desperate need of starting to look good.
But they both need to win today.
Oh,
that's for sure.
Absolutely. And already, Brave going to do well. Going to find his opposing number. A touch on the spike, and as it stands, no denial. And that's a problem, because none of this utility is landing. BBL.
Well, yeah, we got off to a horrendous start in this game, but it's even worse than you might think, because there's something laughably funny that goes on in this round as well, right? So when they're actually coming in here to do this A exec, right, and the first part goes fine, they get the site, you know, they're going to plant the spike. The first part of the plan, you could say, works. Right, and we are playing for full, you know, lineup Larrys here, right? With the 2 shock darts, we got the orb, we got the 2 snake bites. You know, it's very clear what the plan is going to be here from Koi, which on a pistol round isn't a bad plan necessarily, but take a look at our Viper here, because we're going to throw, and you might just not quite be able to see it, but it will come up in just a second. We're going to throw a Viper orb, and just take a look. You can just see it now. You might not quite be able to make it out, but there is just a little outline here of a Viper orb. And yes, that is our attacking Viper Orb. And yes, we tried to throw it across here. We missed the lineup. And so our Orb is now here instead. And take a look at our Viper, because we're just going to try and pick it up. Oh, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Oh, did we pick it up? No, we didn't pick it up. We didn't get it back. Even though we just threw it into main, we didn't pick the Viper Orb back up. We didn't pick the Viper Orb back up, so it's still just here. The attacking Viper Orb is just in main, which is so funny. It's so funny. And then obviously we missed the shock darts. And obviously, if the Viper Orb was on the spike, yeah, we're slightly missing these shock darts, but maybe it kills someone who's on 1 HP. So that's even funnier, that when they start missing these shock dart lineups, and by the way, we have 3 players who aren't even in the round, right? Our Yoru's doing nothing. These 2 are doing nothing. You know, we've literally done nothing. And yeah, really great start to this game for Koi. Okay, next one here. Let's watch Koi do a B exec.
It looks relatively all in, doesn't it? So this is the first time we're going to see an early test of this B site hold. Last time around, Elite was just a backbone to this. Spots out Reezy early. And he's going to see a fair amount, though. There are bodies here. Camo actually teed up, but Reezy still with success. Holding on the corner, and there's no follow-up. There's no trade. There's no nothing. And Pora with a shot in the dark. Oh, and there's more. Pora just can't stop succeeding.
Well, that's a B exec with a Yoru ult. Okay, and I could make little comments here about, you know, how it's possibly a better idea to do the Yoru ult this way, right? I could make little detailed comments like that, you know, and potentially, you know, clear this out. So if you want to have someone else follow up with the Yoru ult, you can, and then you're doing, you know, coming in from multiple directions, and obviously your Yoru can scan this all out and tell you whether that part of the map is safe or not. I could say those things. You know, we're also playing Omen, so, you know, we very easily could smoke this off and really, you know, threaten a B split here. You know, it sounds like a decent plan, right? But they don't do that. That's fine. Okay, but he starts the Yoru ult about 131, right? But then just look at this. What is everyone else doing? Okay, we're doing a shock dart for the trip there, that we know that it's there anyway because of the Yoru clone, right? So we know that this trip is here with shock dart. Okay, sure, whatever. Our dart is horribly timed. Our Omen Flash, where's our Omen Flash? Right, so the dart finally lands. Still somehow, you know, now our Omen Flash is coming as well. We're down, we started at 131. At 119, how have we got to this spot where we've been in ult now for like 10 seconds, and you guys have not moved. How is that possible? How has that happened? It doesn't make any sense. And then we lose this fight anyway, which is kind of funny. And then we're just not in. And then sure, they get a bit unlucky here with the 2 op shots, you know, hitting in a row through a smoke. Yeah, that's unlucky. But you make your own luck. Because what are you doing? And this wasn't a one-off thing either. Let's take a look at another B exec where they're in a 5v4 and it's just a Viper on the site.
Might clear them out and then you've got no threats, no worries.
This is much better though, because look at the minimap now. There's 4 heading over towards it. Star's going to find this kill as well, which makes it even worse.
Yeah, they've really sold him now. You can see the drift coming out as well. Elite wanted to try and back him up towards A if they needed it, but now Reezy still large and in charge, still under control.
And the snake bite into the orb as well. It's going to stop any further pressure.
What are they meant to do here? They're being held to the door, but there's a minute on the clock and they...
Well, yeah, it happened again. I mean, when they start this exec, the map looks like this. Like, you could not... this should be... Just a one player is here. And I get it. Viper is strong. Viper Orb, Viper Molly, good. Right? But also, I've got to question Camo as well, right? Like, he sends a flash here, right? And then we see him with the drone. We have a flash. Like, if we want a second flash, we know where this Viper is now, right? We've droned them out. We have a flash if we want. And our exit consists of... just TPing in directly to where they are and dying, and then no one else is following up, no one else is even trying. Like, guys, this isn't an insta kill. Like, I get it, you know, that this is but it doesn't kill you instantly. Like, you can run through this if you want and help. Send help, anyone, please help. Next round, another disaster.
Not a fun one. No, Stark so thinking he'd maybe have more presence up tube. BBL are learning on the fly. They're not going to keep letting you get away with it. You hear the ult go, but as a response, BBL getting her down tube. Now, Shados.
Oh, no. That's back-to-back for Shados as well.
Yeah. And look, Shados is normally a fantastic player. He looks off today. He's not having a day that he's going to be happy with. He's normally one of the win conditions for this team. He looks a bit quiet. And now with 5 men standing.
Salt in the wound.
Yeah. Yeah, everything's been seen. Shadow. There we go.
It's just, yeah.
Playing chicken with the owl drone. But again, how are you meant to hold on to this? You can't. Bora is just having a series. He's having a game. Counter Hunter's Fury going to come down, just trying to use everything possible.
They have enough bodies to stick this through though and tank the damage.
Okay, they've got it to half. You still need more then. They got it to half. You still need more. This is a whimpering performance from Koi Mike.
So this one is just bad. It's just bad. It's just awful from start to finish. There are almost no words for this, right? It starts with the start, where our Cypher camera is on the other side, so of course we just walk straight into an op, right? It starts with that. Then our Cypher camera doesn't see that this op is down here because it's on the other side. Then Pora just starts sprinting down here in holes, and okay, I've seen this happen before, right? Where, you know, they slightly whiff a shot and they lose the fight. It's this that I think is actually the worst part. When we're in a 3v5, our plan is to play for lineups with a Silver ult, but we're in a 3v5! You can't do that anymore! So why is no one saying like, hey guys, you can't do that plan anymore, like you have to change plan. Then you get Cypher ulted as well, right? So again, your lineup plan isn't gonna work now because the Cypher ult tells BBL that they can just run onto the site and go and defuse the spike because they know where you all are, right? And so Camo that just dies there, and then we've got this. I just want to quickly point this out, by the way, as well. The snakebite, the lineup kind of misses, right? So that's not great either, that we're actually still missing lineups. But even so, we then are gonna, you know, retreat back here even more in a 2v5 now, thinking that lineups are going to work. Shadow then just pops his Silver ult because he's panicking out in the open, right? So what that means is Grabinho actually still has a snakebite left, but now he can't like send it at the right time because now he has to come back and protect Shadow because he's just ulting out in the open. So you know, Shadow then like kind of realizes and gets himself tucked back in. So then Grabinho now can go and do his one little snakebite lineup from here again. Obviously the spike is already halved at this point, so it doesn't really matter that he gets that kill. And then it's kind of too late because obviously you can just stick the spike whilst that snakebite is falling because we had to protect our Sova because he was ulting in the open. Oh my goodness, it's bad. It wasn't just one team doing it either. It was a bit infectious. There's actually multiple BBL rounds I could show you, but this one I thought was just a bit funny. So here's one from BBL 2.
Who's next?
Actually, yeah, Q-Shina just gonna clear all the way through A main here. Starzo does find a kill elsewhere here. And you can see on the minimap, exploration through mid, but Reezy's found the response here. They want to bring a pistol into this.
Shadows traveling.
Right. Spike's down.
Spike's down.
Spike's down.
There's a lot going on
Michael.
B site. Brave's on top of Pyramid. Brave's playing a ranked game, apparently. What is going on?
Do you know what? We're going to play this back at half speed for you to really break down here. The analytical... Brave's dead. But can they hold on to the Shadow's still got 2 shock darts. He's got all the bits and pieces to hopefully clear some of this out. Starkzo's just going to shoulder it. And the defuse is going to begin. That's going to get to halfway. Starkzo is very low HP, and Elite has decided with Q.
Okay, this is one of the most bizarre rounds I've ever seen. The plan here is to go for a Yorewolf fake A. You know, fast kind of fake it that we're going A with the Sovadar and all of that. And then we've got our TP, you can see, set up here, actually over towards B instead. So we're going to, like, fake all of this over towards A, and then we're going to go B. The problem is, as we see, is that they kind of get into a 5v4, get caught crossing, essentially, by Starkzo pushing mid. So they get caught coming back this way, and then we get this kill. So the plan is kind of over at that point, and Koi kind of realized, like, oh, this is a fake, and they're going this way instead. So they decide to plant on A instead, right? Which you might think is fine, right? And they do get the A site, as we can see from the map. The part that confuses me here is why on earth, as you're about to see in just a second, does Kushner, he destroys the trip, he then TPs after planting the spike. The spike is planted on A. Look at the map. Why does he TP? I have no idea. We end up in a 4v3. Brave gets caught by the camera tag. He then removes it, but he doesn't think about, like, oh, the camera tagged me. You know, I wonder if I could look to destroy the camera. So he gets tagged again, and then he tries to take it out, and then... and then just dies, which is great as well. That's wonderful. We're then playing for lineups again here for BBL. And again, again, I'll move my face because they're going to show it in a second. They missed this lineup as well, right? So we got another missed little Viper Snakebite in here, which just adds to it. And then still somehow BBL are going to win the round. You know, even after that messy shooting as well, they still managed to win the round. So yeah, really, really bizarre stuff. Really funny stuff. Yeah, a lot going on. And it wasn't limited to one map either. Let's actually go to map 2 and take a look at this 5v3 post plan for Koi. Should be unlosable, right?
Back in, they need to punish all of this aggression. Oh, that's nice from Gribino. Maybe this is the one. Maybe. I'm still nervous, because BBL still feel like they're playing with confidence.
No Snakebite into this orb, so...
Brave's walking this. Yeah, he's got no problems. He's slipped up towards yellow. If he gets any bit of play in, he's looking dangerous, and Starkzo's not particularly safe either. They need this flank.
Well?
They need Grubino to get involved in this before it turns to absolute pandemonium. Make sure that no one gets by, but now clearing, they've got to know that they're at yellow. They know they're at the doorstep. Starkzo can't contain it. Kushner finds him, and now the defuse begins. Grubino has to be the backbone to this. Oh God, he's
That's
fallen!
not enough!
This is not enough! Not again! They've absolutely fallen to pieces!
Yeah, this one's almost difficult to lose. Like you have to get creative with how you're going to lose it. And whilst we are in a 5v3, we're essentially not in a 5v3 because Shados is waiting on Narnia. At a certain point, he's just waiting in Narnia. He doesn't want to partake in this round. He got a bit fed up, I think. And so yeah, we're gonna end up here, you know, just slowly ticking down one by one. The Sober ult at the end is kind of the cherry on top of all this. You do have to admit, it is very, very funny when they go for that Sober ult. Yeah, they go for this Snakebite here. Now, here's the thing about this Snakebite, right? I think this Snakebite either hits someone or something, because this should land. Looking at that. Right, like that should land, but you're gonna see it actually comes up on, in a second. You'll see where it actually lands, because it doesn't land where it's supposed to. You'll see it at the end just here. It lands there. I don't really get how that's happened. I would call that a bit unlucky, to be honest, but even so, the problem with this idea and concept as a whole is this isn't there, but this is the defensive Viper orb, so Kusher isn't taking decay damage. So even with this Snakebite here, you know, he could still easily get half. That's absolutely no problem. But they're still in a pretty bad spot at that point, right? Because once you're at half, like, they probably still have enough time, if I'm being honest. But it does miss, and so, yeah, unlucky, I guess. And then the Silver ult, yeah, just kind of adds on top there. A little unfortunate, but again, it's funny. And then a final one here. I'm just going to show you the very next round because Koi, hey, they've managed to absolutely bamboozle them. Look at this. They bait out a Viper's Pit. They've come back to A and they have a free site. 5v5, they're going to get a Viper's Pit as well. This should be unlosable.
Pretty soon.
Pretty
No, I mean, they have the lockdown here, so
Yep. They can
one
clear
problem
pretty
being
deep.
the pit will cover the most likely
He's committed.
scenario. But Kushner, yeah, into the back lines.
And if they put the lockdown in, where do they go? Right in towards Kushner, who can slowly turn the screws. But there is a little bit of a layer to this. The Starzo could, depending on where he routes to, figure this out. I mean, yeah, Shados just walks in now. Start.
You know about a second on the flank?
I don't think he does. Surely not. Surely? But he's being a nuisance, right? This backline is no longer safe. There's a problem to deal with. So now they're going to be a little bit off, and he's just oh dear. They're just defusing. They're just defusing. Finally brought off it. Camo desperately trying. BBL.
Yeah, this one's tough. Right, this one is tough. I mean, why aren't we playing around the fact that they've got a Killjoy lockdown? You know, you could say that this pit, in a way, you know, is playing around the Killjoy lockdown and does stop them going for the better Killjoy lockdown. How in this world are you planting here, though, bro? How? This is unbelievable. A plant here. When in this scenario. And yeah, sure, it's cool. Kushner, nice TP. I like this is kind of a cool idea. And yeah, sure, the lockdown does push them back. And again, if it was planted open, it's funny because Shados actually threw his threw his Nano Swarm for the good plant. You know, the open plant for what's about to happen. But unfortunately, he doesn't know that his teammates are, you know, not playing with their brain switched on. And so, I mean, I even think, you know, probably BBL were a little confused, like, wait, like, you know, because they take a little time to get on the spike. And I honestly think, like, maybe they were a little confused, like, looking for it. Like, wait, where have they planted? Like, they can't have planted safe when they had the whole site, right? But no, they did. Yeah. Nice round.